Why would she need the patch? Hello, I'm HG Tudor. We've seen the photographs of Harry's wife wearing the new Calm anti-stress patch, and I've explained the basis on which she has been wearing that. It is interesting to note the response to it, and the way in which so many people still fail to understand the way that Harry's wife behaves because she's a narcissist. Michael Deacon, who writes for The Telegraph, leads with the headline, "An anti-stress patch. Harry's wife, I didn't realise life in a mansion with a prince was so hard." Maybe it's the cost of living crisis. Maybe she just likes the gadget. Or maybe there's a grander plan in action. All week, the papers have been full of photos of the Duchess of Sussex wearing some futuristic new anti-stress device. But there's still one crucial question that no one has managed to answer. Why on earth would she need one? Admittedly, I've never been a multimillionaire former actress with a 9-bedroom California mansion, friendships with America's biggest celebrities, a $100 million Netflix deal, and a prince for a husband. But I had no idea it was so stressful. Perhaps it's the cost of living crisis. The bill for heating her swimming pool must have soared. And in the past year, I'm sure all of us have had to cut back our spending on private jets. And come to think of it, maybe that's why she and Harry reportedly tried to catch a flight on Air Force One with Joe Biden a little while ago. They weren't being arrogant. They were trying to save money. Some observers, however, believe that Harry's wife may have an alternative reason for showing off her swanky new anti-stress gadget. In numerous media outlets, there's renewed speculation that she's planning to rebrand herself as a wellness guru in the style of Gwyneth Paltrow. This would fit in with the rumours from spring, which still haven't fucking manifested, that the Duchess wants to relaunch her website, the TIG, as a rival to Gwyneth's website, Goop. For the Duchess's sake, though, I hope it isn't true. She could never beat Gwyneth, for the simple reason that Gwyneth is a far more aspirational figure. So a bit of a burn there. Put it like this, given the choice, whose life would you rather have? Gwyneth or Harry's wife's? No contest. It's got to be Gwyneth's. This is because, despite her eccentricity, her twaddle about nourishing the inner aspect, and her belief that a vibrator makes a suitable gift for Father's Day, Gwyneth clearly enjoys life. She seems not just rich and glamorous, but fun. Well, pausing there, as you know, Gwyneth Paltrow is another narcissist, but a more evolved one. She doesn't actually experience fun because narcissists never do, but what she certainly does is perform more effectively, so she's less haphazard and gives the appearance of having fun in a more natural way. Thus, this reporter, this columnist, believes that she is much more fun. Continuing with the article, it's hard to say the name of Harry's wife. Ever since she fled the royal family, she's been associated, in the eyes of millions, with victimhood and self-pity, not blissful contentment and joy. Anyway, for Harry's wife to stand any chance of rivaling Goop, she'd have to compete in its core market by flogging her brand of sex toys. If she wants to cling on to her royal title, this probably wouldn't be the wisest move. And on top of that, I doubt her sex toys would even be sexy. As with everything else she does, she would somehow manage to make them seem earnest and worthy, all about promoting empowerment and compassion and equity. Imagine dildos for Ethiopia, because the vulnerable deserve orgasms too, or this candle smells like my valiant efforts to unlock systemic cultural change through impactful action to serve communities in need. Certainly, at least, this individual has got the measure of Harry's wife. The columnist certainly recognises the pomposity of the way that she talks and might not necessarily recognise that it is a facade that she's operating. He certainly sees the ridiculousness of the pronouncements that she makes. He continues by explaining, on the whole, then, I really don't think this wellness lark sounds like a winner. Still, you never know. Perhaps, contrary to the rumours, she has no such plans, and she was wearing that fancy anti-stress device purely because she likes it. Its producer, Newcom, insists it has no business relationship with her and says she's merely a loyal user of our technology. Fair enough. We know she loves to keep up with the latest trends. I just hope she's careful. Imagine if the fake sheikh, the undercover reporter from the News of the World, was still at large. First thing he'd do is to concoct a crafty sting op, plotting to offer Harry's wife envelopes stuffed with cash to plug some improbable wellness product. Not sure what to say. Not sure what. Say a state-of-the-art Piers Morgan repellent. Then again, that sounds like a genuine money spinner. Perhaps her brand would be a hit after all. Again, some mild Mickey-taking of Harry's wife and the suggestion that she's not going to be able to compete with this wellness brand, although it keeps getting mentioned and has yet to appear, which is no surprise, of course, when it comes to the Duchess of Sussex, who would rather be paid for doing nothing than actually having to put in some hard work. It's all about the grift and not the graft with her. But of course, what this columnist misses is that the purpose of her wearing that was twofold. There was the possibility that it was being done for the purposes of triangulating people in order to assert control over them, have them react and provide fuel, and of course a residual benefit in terms of possibly causing Newcom to say, "Hey, Harry's wife, we noticed that you're a fan of our product. Would you like some money to promote it?" And therefore she's trying her manifesting approach once again. I offered my view in relation to how it may well have been placed by a competitor because of the fact that she is an undesirable target these days with regard to marketing. She's marketing untouchable. But there's also another aspect to this that, again, the columnist hasn't picked up on. And this is to try and elicit sympathy, to suggest that she's stressed, that she's anxious, and that she's having to do something about it. Now, she could, of course, have a Britney-like meltdown and shave her head as part of the eliciting of sympathy. She could, of course, drop to the floor sobbing in the street. Apparently, she's well practiced at that. But here's a subtler way of signalling to people, "Help me," is to wear an anti-stress, anti-anxiety patch. Thus telling the world, "I'm stressed and I'm trying to stay calm." May also be, of course, that she's doing this to signal to the world, the reason that I'm stressed is because of my husband. After all, remember, he is in devaluation, but through the skewed lens of her narcissism, she regards him as the problem and her as the victim. Thus she, as the victim, is stressed because of the way that he's been treating her. Furthermore, her narcissism may well utilize this at a future date. Remember, her narcissism isn't planning ahead. It doesn't work that way. But at a later juncture, as and when the custody dispute starts and the divorce occurs between the two of them, as is most likely, her narcissism, in order to assert control over Harry at that future point, would bring up the past and make reference to the fact that she was stressed and anxious and had to wear a Newcom patch. There's lots of photographs proving that happened, Your Honour. And the reason was that the petitioner was placed in an unduly stressful position as a consequence of the conduct of the respondent, Prince of Pink Pancakes. Accordingly, the use of this Newcom patch may have been to try and cause some merching. More likely, it was done for the purpose of trying to elicit sympathy now by people expressing concern about her being stressed, and it could also pose a future use to her with regard to action against Prince Harry. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.